When you first open ExoMiner, it doesn't greet you with a bombastic cutscene or a wall of text about galactic politics. Instead, it drops you right into the role of an ambitious pioneer standing at the edge of possibility, a lonely outpost. Sits on the surface of an alien planet, the horizon stretching away in muted tones of dust and rock under a pale sun, with nothing but the distant hum of machinery breaking the silence. There's something instantly compelling about this setup. You're not just running a faceless business simulation. You're the unseen commander of a growing interplanetary enterprise, shaping it from its very first automated dig into a vast, interconnected industrial web. That simplicity of presentation hides an intricate loop beneath the surface, one that pulls you in slowly, making you feel like you're not just tapping a screen, but actively guiding the evolution of a thriving economy in an alien world. The first moments are humble. A few mining drones crawl across the barren terrain, scooping up your first loads of raw ore. There's a clear sense of scale from the beginning. You're reminded that on this world, every resource has to be dug, processed, and managed carefully. Early on, you'll get familiar with the basic flow. Extract minerals, sell them for credits, reinvest those credits into better miner storage facilities and processing plants. At first, it's deceptively simple, but within minutes you realize that what you're managing is more than just numbers. It's a constantly shifting chain of supply and demand. Resources come in tiers from basic raw ores like copper and iron to more exotic materials that require multi-step refining, and every choice you make about where to invest upgrades determines how fast your little empire will grow. That's where the game's heart lies, in the delicate balance between efficiency, capacity, and diversity of production. One of the standout aspects of ExoMiner is how it treats progression. Unlike many idle games that simply throw bigger numbers at you for each upgrade here, there's an intentional pacing that makes every new tech feel earned. The research system is a slow, deliberate climb with tech trees, branching out into different priorities. Do you invest in faster mining rates at the cost of storage? Do you prioritize higher value refined goods, even if they require more complex supply chains? The game forces you to think ahead. Research can take real-world hours, meaning you'll often set a goal before you log off and return later to see it completed. That creates a pleasant rhythm of play that fits perfectly into short bursts or longer planning sessions. You're not glued to the screen, but you're always anticipating the next unlock, which is exactly what a good idle strategy hybrid should do. Visually, ExoMiner walks an interesting line between stylized minimalism and functional clarity. The planetary surfaces are rendered in a slightly muted sci-fi palette, soft oranges, dusty browns, pale blues, giving them a grounded feel without overcomplicating the environment. Your mining drones are small but distinct, their movement patterns just detailed enough to make your world feel alive without becoming visually overwhelming. Refineries glow softly with activity. Storage silos stand like metallic sentinels, and every upgrade adds another visible piece to your colony's puzzle. The UI deserves particular praise. It's clean, modern, and easy to navigate even when you have dozens of different production lines running. Resource totals, timers, and upgrade buttons are clearly laid out, and the menus load quickly, which is essential when you're juggling multiple tasks. The sound design is equally understated but effective. There's no overly dramatic soundtrack vying for your attention. Instead, a low ambient score drifts in the background with soft electronic tones that give you the sense of working quietly in the vastness of space. The clink and crunch of mining, the hum of machinery, and the occasional ping of a completed upgrade are all crisp and satisfying, creating a subtle ASMR-like quality that makes the experience oddly relaxing. It's the kind of soundscape you can leave running while you do other things, letting it fade into the background until you check back in to see your progress. Performance is solid across most modern devices, even when your operation scales to a sprawling high-output network. The game maintains a stable frame rate with only occasional micro-stutters when a large number of animations trigger at once. This is important because idle games that lag or freeze during peak output quickly break. The immersion. The developers Eldring have clearly optimized for the long haul, knowing that players who stick with ExoMiner will eventually be running hundreds of simultaneous processes. That foresight pays off when you're hours into the grind, and everything still runs smoothly. Monetization, as with most free-to-play idle games, is always a point of concern. But ExoMiner's approach is refreshingly non-intrusive. The core loop is fully playable without spending any money. And while premium, currency can speed up upgrades or boost production, it's never strictly necessary. Ads are entirely optional, triggered when you choose to double production for a short period, or instantly finish a task, and they're short enough not to feel like a chore. If you choose to remove them entirely, it's a one-time purchase, which is rare in this genre. The result is a game that respects your time. You're never forced into a paywall, and the pacing remains fair for free players. The real magic, though, comes from how ExoMiner sustains interest over time. The early hours are about simple growth. More miners, more storage, more income. But once you hit the mid-game, you're managing a full-fledged supply network. Contracts add another layer of strategy, offering you choices between quick, smaller payouts or long-term commitments with massive rewards. Fulfilling these contracts often requires careful planning, ensuring you have enough refined materials without choking your supply chain. It's a subtle challenge that rewards efficiency and foresight. Seasonal events and limited time challenges spice things up further, encouraging you to experiment with production priorities or chase rare resources for unique rewards. Community. Engagement might not be the driving force behind ExoMiner. It's not a social game by design, but the player base is active and collaborative. On Reddit and Discord, you'll find detailed guides on optimal research paths, resource bottleneck, solutions, and efficient contract strategies. This shared knowledge base adds a metagame of sorts as players compare setups, share screenshots of massive operations, and speculate about upcoming updates. Eldring's responsiveness to feedback is worth noting here. Many quality-of-life improvements, from better storage management to UI tweaks, have come directly from community suggestions. When you compare ExoMiner to other popular idle mining games like Idle Miner Tycoon or Deep Town, its differences become clear. Idle Miner Tycoon leans heavily into exaggerated characters and fast-paced dopamine hits, while Deep Town blends mining with a story-driven mystery. ExoMiner sits somewhere in between, stripping away the cartoonish excess, and instead offering a cleaner, more industrial sci-fi experience with enough strategic depth to keep you hooked for weeks. It's less about unlocking quirky managers or advancing a narrative, and more about the quiet satisfaction of watching your economic machine grow and refine itself. Even after dozens of hours, there's always a goal on the horizon, a new material to unlock, a bottleneck to solve, a contract to fulfill. And that's why ExoMiner works so well. It doesn't rely on cheap tricks to keep you engaged. It trusts that the steady march of progress, the visual expansion of your base, and the satisfaction of optimization are enough to hold your attention. Whether you're the kind of player who logs in every few minutes to micromanage production, or someone who checks in twice a day to collect rewards and queue upgrades, the game adapts to your pace. In the end, ExoMiner is a perfect example of how an idle game can be relaxing without being shallow, strategic without being stressful, and rewarding without being exploitative. It's about building something out of nothing, watching it grow from a dusty little outpost to a sprawling industrial empire that hums with life. Every upgrade, every research unlock, every Shipment of refined goods is a step forward, and those steps add up to something genuinely satisfying. If you've ever wanted an idle game that feels like a carefully balanced dance between long-term planning and moment-to-moment gratification, ExoMiner delivers it with quiet confidence. Out here on the edge of space with the hum of your machines in your ears and the glow of your refineries lighting up the alien night progress is its own kind of reward. And in ExoMiner, that reward keeps you coming back one shipment at a time. Until next time, may peace, a smile, and a warm heart be with you. Enjoy the gameplay, and I'll see you tomorrow.
you